Governor Greg Abbott says the Texas National Guard will mobilize more than 1,200 people as part of the coronavirus testing teams. 25 teams will set up in various parts of the state. Each team will have 45 members. Eyewitness News reporter Holly Stover joins us in the studio. Holly, the first two teams are coming to our area, to Fredericksburg and Floresville.
Yeah, that's right, Deb. They're going to provide better access to testing in these areas. Governor Abbott didn't say where the remaining 23 teams are going to be heading to, but it's on the Texas Department of State Health Services to decide where they end up. The teams will have 11 medical professionals and support staff, as well as 34 soldiers. The Texas National Guard is able to test 150 people per day at each mobile testing team location. Governor Abbott activated the Texas Military Department last month in response to the coronavirus. Right now, more than 2,500 guardsmen are spread out across the state. Governor Abbott says, quote, "The state of Texas continues to expand our COVID-19 testing capacities and ensure that communities across the Lone Star State have access to the resources they need. I am grateful for the dedication of our guardsmen as they continue to serve their fellow Texans throughout the COVID-19 response." So far, guardsmen have helped create more than 4 million pieces of personal protective equipment, conducted more than 9,000 tests, and helped food banks hand out food and supplies to thousands of Texans each day. Deborah?
We are thankful for them. Thanks, Holly.